So what up, y'all? We locked in.
We
Yo,
definitely
we here.
locked in.
We definitely locked in.
What's going on? What's going on?
It's
That's right.
me.
We got a special guest for y'all tonight.
Yep.
Walker's up in the building.
Drop a couple.
Shawana Bowens.
Let
You
everybody
know,
know.
as usual, we got a good show.
And it's about time. And it's about time that we finally, man, got one of the sisters to come through, man. Because all we've been having is just men up on the panel. No disrespect to the people who've come. I mean, we've had some sisters come through, man. But I mean, we need the sisters that out there to represent, man. They got stories to tell, and we need y'all, man, to share y'all stories with us, man. Because we don't have that diversity. It just looked funny, man, with just a bunch of dudes up there talking. It's like, yo, where the women at? Where the sisters at, man? So
Yeah,
glad
let
to
them
have
come
you
up here
on,
and tell
Juan.
their stories. That's right. Let the sisters come up here and tell their stories too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, and I mentioned this to you too earlier, Mikey. First of all, everybody that's tuned in, man, hit that subscribe button. If this is your first time tuning in, we locked in, man. This your host, Moshe Canty. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm on the move right now, trying to get home. But I'm here with my co-host, Mikey B, and we have a special guest, Miss Shawana Bowens. Um, Again, introduce yourself real quick. So say hello to the listeners out there.
How y'all doing? I am Shawana Bowens, also known as Wonka Bay, Facebook. Yep, it's Wonka315 IG. Yes, it's Wonka3 on my Snapchat. Um, and basically, I just came on here to give y'all a little background about who I am. And basically, my reason for wanting to do this is because I see a lot of people making excuses, right? For why they turned out and the way they did and all those different types of things. But I just grew up around gangsters, right? And people that done been through stuff, major life-changing experiences, and they doing more than the people that's been out here in these streets for all this time. So that leads you to want to say, like, how does the past trauma that you deal with affect your future? Because people can come home where they're gonna have it a little harder because they don't have all the background, situations to help them build resumes and do all of that. Yeah, they got programs and stuff now, but everybody don't get the chance to utilize those programs. You can't utilize a program if you're in a box. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my story. Now, I was a victim of a crime about 23 years ago. All right. And the strange thing is when you go through something, right? Mind you, I was raised in the hood. So things happening to people and stuff like that, it was every day. It was regular to me. You know what I mean? It was just stuff that you it just expect to happen because some people is living a lifestyle that comes with certain types of things. Let's just say that, right? So you sitting there and it's a person this time that's innocent. Like, I mean, innocent to the core. You know what I mean? The only thing more innocent than anything is a child because they don't know no better. They're kids. You know what I mean? So, growing up young, had my son when I was 17. I was a good mom. I used to go out. I used to hang out. I used to be on the block. I used to fuck around and just be outside. But all of that changed. You get what I'm saying? It made me like, nah, I can't be doing this. I can't be doing that. I got a son, you know? And then it was like his father. We had been dating each other. I mean, since we was like, what, 13? We didn't actually start having a real relationship till we was older, but we started dating when we was young. And when you love people, you just don't expect them to flip on you, especially when you think you know that person, you know? So basically, one day, regular stuff. Next thing I know, dudes start acting real weird on me. Nigga done cheated a million times. I was never phased by other females. You young, you like, okay, it's life. I wasn't the type of person that was, oh, let me get my lick back, or, oh, I'm going to start doing this. I just sit there and wait for enough. I done been through a lot at an early age to where, like, being a silver spoon kid to having to move to the ghetto. So I had to learn how to kind of go with the flow. If something happened, don't complain about it. What we going to do now? So as I got older, I was able to kind of like control my emotion. It was hard for other people around me to understand how I learned how to do that. Like, how you know how to just, girl, if that was me, I'll be mad about this. I'll be mad about that, right? I was one of those people who kind of just roll with it. Fuck it. We here now. Let's just do it, right? The dude start acting mad, weird. I just was to a point where I'm like, all right, this nigga leave. He ain't never coming back. He don't even know it. You know? It was just a years of mounting bullshit that I just didn't have the capacity to even want to argue about it. So to a guy, I think that made him feel like emotionless. Like, oh, this bitch don't give a fuck. Like, he ended up getting shot up real bad. I was on the verge of leaving him already. He ended up getting shot up real bad. I'm like, damn, I got hurt. I can't leave him like this. So I stuck it out with him. I mean, females was doing the most. I still stuck it out with him. I mean, coming up to the hospital, I really want to go nuts, but at the same time, my son was the only thing really keeping me with this nigga. This is his father. He loves him. I love him. So fuck it. Couple months when I get better, back to the streets, back to the same thing. So this time, straight cut off. He comes to my house, wilding out, bugging out, told him he gotta leave. We get into an altercation. Now, mind you, I never been in a physical altercation with person that I was dating. Of course, yeah, I was in plenty of fights, but not with my significant other. You don't fight with people that you love. That's how I grew up in my household. I didn't grow up watching my moms get spanked out by no nigga. I grew up watching my mom be treated the correct way that a woman's supposed to be treated. So I wasn't into really letting niggas dog walk me. Like, you only gonna get so many chances. It's only so much that you could come back from. And I just felt like he just crossed the line to the point where I loved him because he was my son's father, but I didn't love him because of him. And I let him know that, like, today when you leave, don't leave nothing. Take everything that you got and don't come back. He thought it was a joke. He thought it was a game. Next thing you know, we like in a physical fight. Like, and I felt like I always in the back of my mind remember my mom telling me, like, if a nigga ever put his hands on you, go crazy. Go crazy. Just go crazy like you would anybody else, but go extra crazy because he's a man. And if I gotta bring something to my family, be like, oh yeah, this nigga did this, ain't no turning back. So that's how I felt. Yeah, I'm going to tell my brother, because ain't no nigga about to be disrespecting me. Hand all cut up. I done tried to air this nigga head out with a glass vase. We running back and forth through the house. Every time I shoot something, he chasing me, trying to hit me with something. I mean, it got crazy in there. That was it. I ain't gonna call the police, but I'm gonna call somebody. It was agreed. You won't come back. Me being the person that I am, a week passed, 2 weeks passed, 3 weeks passed, probably about a month. It was his father's memorial. And on that day, he I mean, begged. Oh, can he come? Can he come with me? Can he come with me? But the one thing that made me weary about it was when we was arguing and fighting that last time, like literally, I wasn't dealing with him. I see us out. He see his son. Boom, that's it. You can't come to my house. No, none of that. It's curtains for you. But something that he said, like, oh, you love him more than you love me, da 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 da. I'm thinking he trying to say it's another nigga, right? The whole time he was talking about his own son, which was weird. But that's something that I didn't really pay attention to until after the fact. So I let him, I'm like, okay, well, my little sister, my little brother, they was at the house. I used to keep them and stuff too. And I'm like, well, let me go down to the wash house and grab this stuff. And I'm come right back. Literally, it's maybe 6 minutes there, 6 minutes back. I was literally back to that house within 15 minutes tops. Tops. I get to the corner, I see my little sister. She's standing outside. Mind you, my pops was getting ready to come pick them up. They were supposed to be getting dressed. So now I'm like, man, why she ain't getting dressed? You know what I mean? But the way she was looking at me let me know that something was wrong. So by the time I'm walking faster, faster, she like, hurry up. Right from that moment, I knew something was wrong. I ain't know what, but I knew something. You know, I walk in the front door. First thing I see, because I had 2 living rooms. You go through the first living room, it's open space. The second one is the open space. My son laying on the couch. He just looked like he was laying on the couch, but ain't no movement. This kid just got up. He ain't tired. He ain't take no nap. So I'm kind of wilding a little bit, like, yo, what the fuck going on? What's going on? He like, oh, I think you swallowed something. You think you swallowed something, but you standing over there. So I told my little sister, call 911 right now. So I pulls my son off the couch. I'm doing CPR. I stuck my hand down his throat, like try to see Heimlich maneuver. You name it, I did it. I've been in the health field since literally I was old enough to be in it. I know what to do in an emergency with anything. Like that's always been my passion, to be one of those people. You know what I mean? So I knew what to do. I saved my uncle life when I was 10 years old. We had a whole aneurysm. You know what I mean? I knew what to do. So the fact that a grown man didn't know what to do, that shit bothered me. But in the whole time, all I'm thinking about is my son. I hear sirens, people in my ear move, this, and that. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I was in a trance. Like, what the fuck went on here? And as I'm looking at this nigga, he don't have no explanation for me. We arguing in front of the people. And I'm like, what did you do, bro? What the fuck did you do? You had to do something. He ain't swallow nothing. So as we leaving, I'm getting in the ambulance. My little sister and my little brother, they get in the car with my step pops, but everybody's going to the hospital. This was the last time I seen this man. The next time I seen him, it was in a courtroom. I asked for I don't know how many times, like if I had $1,000,000, right, sitting in my lap right now, and say I'll give you this $1,000,000 if you tell the fucking truth, tell what really happened, bro. I know why you did it. Because you was mad, you was angry, you was tight, you was jealous because when my son came, your love was gone. Like, I didn't have enough strength left to be like, oh, I'm about to go. I didn't care no more. And me being young, I didn't see the signs that the nigga was a little weird with it. I know that somebody that you supposed to trust and love, your first real love, is get crazy on you like this. It be other signs, but that was my first thing that made me say, well, damn. Why didn't I see that this nigga was a bug out? I feel like I I dropped the ball. Like, I felt like that for a long fucking time. Like, why didn't I see this shit coming? I remember he said this. Like,
That ain't your fault. That's not your fault, though.
no. But this is what I'm saying. I like that feeling right there. That feeling of what could I have done differently? That shit haunted me till like 2003 at least. This shit happened in 98. You feel what I'm saying? My way of dealing it was, I ain't no victim. I'm from the hood. I've been shot. I've been jumped. I done been got robbed, been in home invasions, fucking this shit don't happen to me. I don't do stuff to people. My son was innocent. It's different when you doing something like you're doing bad. Like, I mean, I done like been sitting in a crib just chilling, door come open, motherfuckers running up to you with masks. Nothing can fuck with that feeling of wanting to know, and a person got power to tell you, but they don't want to because they don't want to look like the bad guy. The victim part, that's the only part. You know how like people go to jail, they reach out to their victims, they talk to their victims. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to make amends. To this day, this man be lying.
What did they say
And
at the hospital?
like
What did they say at the hospital?
basically the hospital was right now, he has been in severe trauma. That's all we could tell you. I was at the hospital for 3 days. My mom's had to beg me to leave. I was in the hospital for about a whole day. That next morning, CID came to see me, detective. So they like, oh, we just need you to come down whenever you get a chance. I said, no, I want to go now so I can be back up here. Then I can go and, take a shower and try to do something with myself. You know what I mean? But it was like, oh shit. It was like, they asked me to come down. We goes down to CID. We talking and shit. The detective just asking me mad questions like, just about me, about him, about our relationship. And basically after I told him like, well, I was dating him since I was young, this and that, I just kept it on what they was asking me. You know what I mean? So after he took my statement, he said, well, I said, I wasn't there though. I left, I came back, and this is what I came back to. There's really not much I can tell you. I could tell you the time why we wasn't together. I could tell you like I can only tell you so much because there's only so much to tell. After they read me my statement, like everything you say true. I'm like, yep. They like sign right here. After that, pulled out about 4-5 pages. This is what happened. Do you want us to read it to you, or what do you want us to do? So I told him, I said, nah, I'll read it. He said, or better yet, don't we got him on video recording? This nigga fiddling, doing all types of dumb shit. He looked at just like First 48, a guilty motherfucker. It's just the volume of what was being said wasn't up high enough, so you couldn't really hear. But it was right there in black and white for me to read it. Basically, his excuse was, oh, he was crying and he wouldn't stop crying. Everybody know that was bullshit. My little sister, my little brother, they all was interviewed. They got their statements. I didn't see none of their statements until we went to court. So they couldn't have been coerced. I left and they got in the ambulance. They went with my pops. I didn't even know the nigga was in jail until I read the statement. And then when I went back upstairs and they started telling me the injuries, I said, ain't no way a person could do this. Ain't no way. They brought me down to a little room. It had all types of dolls. It's like a room where you take kids to when they get molested and all this different kind of stuff. They had all types of dolls on the shelf. She had height, weight of like its actual different sizes. She asked me about how tall he was, how much he weighed. She had me pick up a dial. This dial is clear. Every part of the brain, the frontal lobe, your frontal lobe, the top of your head, it's every little piece of your cranium in your head that's considered traumatic impact points. All of that is tagged. Every single, the kidney, you see kidney, pancreas, you see every single organ on that dial has a tag. The dial itself, basically they told me to get the dial. The lady asked me how strong I am. I'm like, I'm strong. Like, I used to wrestle with my brothers in the streets, you know, like I played football with them. I climb fences, trees. I'm tough. The lady said, okay, well, hit the dial. Hit the dial. He ain't really light up. She said, no, use force. Use a little force. Lit up a little bit. She said, you're very angry right now. You're going through a lot. If you could just, she said, take it out on this dial. Mind you, she like punched it hard, harder, harder. Mind you, she got a whole little timer, all kind of shit sitting over here, right? After a minute, I say straight, is finally when the dial started lighting up. She telling me, nope. She goes over to the table, some type of little computer thing she got over there. It's reading, but it's not no life-threatening injuries. So what she doing is saying, you got to use more force than that. How would you fight a person in the streets? So as now, she's like, hit it harder, 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 harder. Let's go for 2 minutes. I'm tagging the shit out of this. Mind you, I know I'm strong. She stopped, went over to the table. Mind you, we did this for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, that dial did not sustain the injuries that my son sustained in 15 minutes that I was gone. She told me that had to go on as soon as I left the house, probably is when it started. Mind you, I didn't find out the statements my sister, none of that stuff that they asked him until court. When court came up, because he pled guilty to second-degree murder, and that was it. Being that there's no trial, I don't get everything that I want. But on this end, I found out a little bit of information. I was able to read my sister's statement. My sister was 5 years old. A 5-year-old knows exactly what's going on. A 4-year-old knows exactly what's going on. And when I asked her, well, what happened? Was he crying before he went in the room or after the room? She said, no, he wasn't crying before he went in the room. We was all playing. We were supposed to be taking a bath. This is what she said. Same thing that was in the statements. Ain't nobody lying on you. As a victim, that's the only thing that I don't like. Like, give me my peace. I was running around here, head chopped off, angry as fuck for years. I started victimizing people. I was the terrorizer, not to children, not to old people, but these females in these streets hated my guts. They hated to see me coming. She that. I'm going through so much, mind you. I'm 18 years old. I don't know nobody who been through nothing like this. This shit don't happen in the Black community. At least not nobody I know, and I know half of the city. People telling you, oh, it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna fucking be okay. You can't tell me to feel okay about something that can't nobody help me with. That was my biggest problem. Like, I felt like if there was an outlet, somebody, something to kind of mentor me or tell me it's okay to feel how I felt. I had people telling me how to fucking feel. And I didn't appreciate it. Then you got to think about this. My best friends, is family members with these people. You got friendships, best friendships. My best friends is first cousins with these people. A lot of my friends, we grew up in the same neighborhood. He from the hood, I'm from the hood. It put a wedge in between everything I love. My son is gone. I got people who don't know me judging me. I got people believing his lies because he's saying he ain't do it. But you're in jail. I got everybody pulling me in 1,000 directions. I ain't have nothing. I had the love of the people that I did have, but nobody understood my anger. When I say I went through a lot, I don't know how I didn't end up with a rap sheet longer than South Carolina. I do not know. I don't. And that situation was the second thing that made me say, you know what? I gotta figure this out. I can't let this victim mentality have me out here ready to give up my freedom for something I can't control, something I can't change, something that gonna haunt me every day. Like my son's birthdays come up, you know what I mean? His death date come up. Just milestones of sisters, brothers, kids. It's just like a picture with an empty frame. You know, or the what ifs and the this and the that. Like a lot was stolen from me. You know, I ain't asked for, you know what I'm saying, the whole world to know. I wanted to know. If you don't want to tell the world, don't tell the world. But you could have told me. You owe me that. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you had a chance to say to your the victims of your crimes what went down, regardless to what went down, I'm that person. I would have gave you a fucking hug and you took something away from me. Just because you admitting what you did, giving me peace. I know my son ain't go alone because it was other people in the house. I know that right to this day, that man ain't gonna never be correct because he lying to himself. I done had people bypassing people in jail. He tell a story that's fucking fiction. These people thinking you done caught murder on the block. You know what I'm saying? You done killed somebody, came through your hood. Whole time you killed your fucking 20-month-old son. You beat him to death.
I was in prison with him. I didn't know the particulars of what he was in prison for, but I was in prison with him. I didn't know it was nothing like that because
I've been told by people. I'm the one who did it. This is what he telling them. I'm the one who did it and he covered for me. How? My son was walking around when I left that house. I would never harm an old person or a fucking child. Now, a person who trying to harm me, I ain't gonna hesitate. But I don't mess with innocent people. And for somebody to just do something like that and have no soul, it just is beyond me. And to this day, still nothing. But as time went on, I started learning how to cope. That's what I say, cope.
what was
Because
some of
some
your
days I
coping
wake up
mechanisms?
sad.
What
Huh?
what was some of your coping mechanisms? How did you get through those times?
I swear, like it's been times where literally I literally just was in the bed crying, curled up in the fetal position. I ain't even gonna hold you. And I kept saying, like, girls, get up, get your ass up, get your ass up. I had to trick my mind into thinking, like, you know how you watch the stories, right? Soap operas. Everybody send their kids off to boarding school. I had to trick myself, trick. When I say trick myself, all the way up until 2003. Mind you, I was getting into so much stuff. I was reckless. When I say reckless, everywhere we went, there was a fight. Then
So
I
you agree
started
that hurt
learning,
people?
like,
You agree that hurt people
huh?
then? I said you agree that hurt people
Absolutely.
hurt people.
I was unhappy. I was angry. It didn't take much to set me off. Like, a person could bump me, the pettiest shit, and I swear to God, I'm stalling on you. And if you with somebody, I'm stalling on them too. I was reckless. I was like a nigga in jail with his head chopped off, had something to prove. That was me. It was just I was in the world.
Yo, Juan,
Anybody there.
Shawan, if you don't mind me asking you, I'm first of all, I'm just like, I've been sitting here trying to figure out what do I even ask you, right? But I guess my question is the first one is if you don't mind me asking, what was your son's name?
Isaac Robinson.
Isaac.
Isaac
Um,
Robinson Jr.
okay. Um, and the reason why I asked that, I definitely feel it's appropriate to humanize a innocent child.
Yeah, you can ask me whatever questions you want. Like, that's why I'm here. Like,
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure, that was established because, we are, we locked in. We want to get this trauma out. We want you to share your story. We want it to be raw. And it's no more. I don't. I'm at a loss of words. I can't sit up here and say to you, I know what you're going through. I mean, you're telling a
but
story
see,
of
you
an
see what you
18-year-old
just said?
who lost
That
who
right
lost
there means a lot.
I can't. I don't. I don't. I can't. I don't have the. First of all, I'm not a. I'm not. A, I can never be a mother. So I don't. I don't even know how to comfort someone in that moment like that. I mean, you were 18-year-old mother who lost your 20-month-old child by your child's father. Um,
Correct.
I don't know how you know I don't know. So it to me it's just amazing
Versus
that
start like
you have this
psyching
resiliency like
myself
that.
out to cope. Like, oh, he just at my grandmother's. He just at my mom's house. But it was hard sometimes because he was always with me. I was really one of those parents that was hands on. If he wasn't with me, he was with his father, and that was it. So, like, it, I just had to learn. And then I'm like, you know what? It turned me emotionalist. Once that happened, I started learning how to control my emotions. And then I noticed, like, dang, the only reason why I got out of that is because I really know how to talk to the police. Like, I really just did what they said I did, but I got away with it. That type shit. Like, that's when I started noticing, like, my defense mechanism to coping was learning how to talk to people, like, with anything. That's when I really started noticing, like, okay, it was this one little girl who lived in my building when I lived in the projects. And I'm trying to say something without everybody knowing who she is. Let's just say her mother's boyfriend was molesting her. And as she got older, she started seeing him. Now, I don't know why she told me. I don't know what made her tell me. But right then and there is when I knew, like, wait, how I know how to help people, but there wasn't nobody there to help me. And that just became a thing. Like, even when I met Mikey, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know Mikey. He's from New York. I'm from Syracuse. One of my closest friends was dating him. And you know me, I'm like, well, I'm from the hood, so I get it. Everybody need love. But I'm one of them people. I'm the thinker. And that's what I noticed. Everybody in the crew got something. I'm the thinker. Everybody else still wilding out. I'm telling them, come on, I'm trying to snatch people, grab their purses so they'll follow me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. They want to keep going. Y'all going to jail. I keep getting away because I know how to flick these emotions. But at the same time, I'm like, Shayna, do you know him? No, I'm going with you. When you going back up there, Shayna? They want to keep going. Went up there, chopped it up. I was asking Mikey all types of questions like, yo, what's up with this dude? Like, he cool.
Elmira.
Because of where you've been from. You know what I mean? I knew his story because Shayna told me his story. I wanted to hear it from him. I wanted to see what type of person he was for my own self. He's been solid ever since. I got a good judging character, and people seem to gravitate towards people like that. And that's what I noticed. So I'm like, the point of my story is like, I went through a tragic event that I live with every single day, like daily. People would not think that that type of thing happened because they always be like, well, wait, you said you had a son? Oh, what happened? And some people don't know how to ask, you know what I mean? Or they don't want to like rip a band-aid off an old wound. Like, it's my power now. You feel me? I'm not no victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used what I learned, my coping mechanisms to help other people in the long run.
Definitely strong. Definitely big you up for being strong. Super strong.
There's
Like,
just no question. Strong is, I don't even, Mikey, I don't even, is that even a proper word for this, right? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Because it took a lot, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't used to want to talk about. I used to be want to talk about. I was like, I don't want to talk about this shit. Like, I used to, because it used to make me mad. You know what I mean?
Did you
because
ever,
to me,
did
my justice
wanna,
wouldn't have been just.
I
Because you
apologize.
get
I don't mean to cut you off, sis. During this process, after the loss of your son, did you at any time ever contemplate suicide?
I thought about it, but I never could see myself doing that. You know what kept me feeling like I could never do that? Is one of my family members, somebody that I love, coming in there and traumatizing them for the rest of their life. That's why I wouldn't do no shit like that. My family love me. That's one thing I can say. Them crazy motherfuckers, they love me. And the roars and screams over the years from people losing, I know what that shit feel like. I wouldn't give that to nobody. Like, it was times where I'm telling you, like, I don't see nobody. I don't be bothered with nobody. I cut everybody off. People be like, oh, she acting funny. It don't be that. Sometimes I'm dealing with my own shit and I just be needing my own space. And there's nothing wrong with that, But I mean, I've thought about it. In 2003, that's another thing. I ended up working. I did a lot of home care, private duty cases and stuff like that. And I ended up running into this woman. And this is what kind of made me like let the anger go. I never sat with a person who went through something crazy. And when she explained her story to me, how her husband shot her, shot their son, shot their son's girlfriend, she the only one who lived. And I was taking care of her.
After she got shot, you was taking care of her?
She had a brain injury. And I worked with her. I was her TBI aide. I worked with her in the hospital. Then when she came home from the hospital, I went home with her. I taught her like how to meet goals to get her life back in order, like the simplest things, teaching her how to, like, if she certain things, because brain injuries can affect people in different ways, but one of her things was her short-term memory was messed up. stuff from her past she could remember like yesterday, but things that happened yesterday she can't remember. So my job was to write down all the stuff she got to do for the week, build a calendar. Every day I come there and I take her to do certain things, all the way down to grocery shopping, balancing her checkbook, you know, having outings with family, different things of that nature. And when she told me what happened to her, it was just like, wow. She was like, I don't have, like, my whole life is. And her daughter got into a car accident and died, I think she said a year after that. She didn't have nobody else. She was adopted. She didn't know her parents. That was the end of her family line. That's how she felt. She was the only one left. And that lady, when I say she gave me so much strength, she gave me so much. She gave me something that not nan person who I had ever been around in my life could give me. She gave me peace and solace. She showed me the correct way. She said, "Let me tell you something. I hate is a more powerful word than despise." She said, "But for what that man took from me, I can't never get back." She said, "But do you know how much energy it takes to hate somebody?
That's true.
That hate that you got in your heart, you could turn that into money. You could turn that into a business venture. You could turn that into a nonprofit organization. You could turn that into," she like basically was telling me, "Yeah, it's okay for you to hate them, but what's that gonna do for you? If your heart is so filled with that much hate, you ain't got no room to love."
That should have hold you down. It'll hold you in place too.
I thought about that shit day and night. I thought about it day and night. I thought about it day and night. I thought about it day and night. She said when she woke up and realized that she lived, she got shot with a 38 caliber in the head. 38 revolver, actually. Almost point blank range to where her half of her head is caved in and got a helmet. He blew her head off, literally. And this woman went through all these losses at once, too. And if she can do it, I know I can fucking do it.
You
But
see
she was
that?
the
You see what it say right there on the screen? Yo, Malik Nunez. Everybody's crying except Wonka right now. She's the only one that's holding it down. Come on, you heard?
oh wow.
Whoa,
Cause
that's a
I'm
fact. I
telling
got
you, and
tears in my eyes since she
I
started
cried out.
talking.
Like when I get the going sometimes, man, that shit make me weak. Like to the point where when I say it took me 20 years of trying to make shit right. Like what that's what my last couple of years, the last 20 years before, after all of that, me, my anger and all of that, I started looking at it like, you know what my everything from that point on, that's another thing she used to say. What would your son had to told you to do? If he could tell you, what would he tell you to do? That's how you got to live your life with every situation you're in, regardless to if he here or not. What would he wanted his mom to do? You gonna sit there and let somebody to have power over you that's living their life? You don't know what demons that man over there fighting. He probably fighting a battle inside his head that ain't never gonna go away. But don't take the love that you got in your heart, take the love away from what you got in your heart and filling it with anger, because that ain't gonna change nothing. And I swear, I became so humble. Like that shit softened me up, because I'm telling you, I was a hard nut to crack. Like I I was I was a problem, and I was a girl, and I was a problem. So that definitely was not a good look. Where you got people really fearing you, that's not a good look. You terrorizing because you've been terrorized. That's not a good look. I don't want to be seen as a bully. I don't want to be seen as a troublemaker. I don't want to be seen as the aggressor. Like, yes, I'm an alpha female. That's not never gonna go away. But at the same time, like, I do got a heart. And that's what I noticed. I use that to like get me through each day. Like with everything that I do, I gotta do one good thing. This is why I'm in the health field. I didn't go out and work like everybody else. I stayed in it. If I get bored, my mind get to thinking too much free time and not making no money. Mike, you know how I feel about the money. It bothers me. You feel me?
Right.
So basically, sooner than later, I'm trying to get me a series of books. And it's basically gonna be about like chapters that happened in my life. I'm talking about my upbringing, all of that.
You got me
I'm
right here.
also looking into
You need help. You got me right
huh?
here. I said, you need help. You got me right here.
Right.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
um yeah, eventually I want a movie. You know what I mean? But I want to start something small first. My first big thing is definitely gonna be trying to get me a nonprofit organization, and just for victim of the crimes. It's for the person who committed the crime as well, because I really have seen people who did bugged out shit who really changed. They was willing to step into a room with a bunch of people that ain't got nothing but hate in their heart and be honest and get them people what they wanted. You feel me? So, and I look at it like, just because you be in the street, I don't mean you ain't a victim either. So when I get me a nonprofit organization, it's going to be for both sides of the pinnacle. It's not just going to be for people who have happened to them. It's going to be people who, well, because not for nothing, a person getting a piece and sitting in that room sometimes with that person, that's what I would have wanted. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen that way, but that's what I would have wanted.
Um,
And that
just
helps the victims. And sometimes it helps the people who did it too.
but how did you
We
cope? Like,
might
give us some. Yeah, I hear you. You going in and out a little bit, but smash that like button, man. You got Wonk up here, 315 in the building. She telling a real story, man. Salute the
early,
queen. Make sure y'all salute the
my
queen. Make sure y'all
coping
subscribe.
mechanisms was knowing to like main thing, like that's my main emotion. You get emotions in check, because I was going down the wrong path. In order for me to with something and I can't do nothing to the person, I started basically, I picked a job, right? And the job was because it offered to help somebody. I seen I had a knack for that. And every time I would do these jobs, I would be asking people, well, what happened? And they tell me. So I felt like me doing that job literally gave me a reason to give something back. That's one of the ways that I cope. That's the main reason.
Oh, all right. So helping people in your field, in the nursing field, it helps you
That's
cope.
how I was doing it in my family, having a strong family unit, like people that you know that's solid.
You going in and out, Wonk. Bimmy, salute. 050 China Brim, salute, man. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe. We got the sister up here telling a real story about how her son, her 20-month-year-old son, got killed, about a baby father, and how she coped with it. So we dealing with trauma and everything that entails. But you going in and out, Wonk. A heartbreaking story, from the streets. One thing I learned from the streets from a young age was no women, no kids. That was like all the gangsters knew
It's
that. You
all
going in.
based defense mechanism. And pretty much that's really what it was. I tried to use things that I like like
Yeah, you going in and out. Like, subscribe, man. Share this. Share the video. Do it. Everything y'all can support, man. She at Yupitzwonka3 But y'all gotta salute her for coming up here and sharing her story, man. I don't think I'd have been that strong without telling that story, without breaking down. And I probably would not even
hear you.
be free to tell a story like this. Go ahead, Wonk. I can't hear you, Wonk. Yeah, you froze up. You froze up on us. Yeah, man. But the hood, it's full of these type of stories. A lot of this stuff is going on, and we need to hear these stories, to better ourselves, to know how to deal with the situations. And somebody said it's therapeutic to get peace and closure. Sometimes you have to talk about these things and get them out in the open and get the assistance that you need to help to deal with these things. Yeah, but it's definitely a traumatizing story. Won't just hit the link and try to come back in. But I appreciate her strength. I appreciate her stopping by, and opening up and chatting with us. Yeah, man, y'all gotta salute her, man. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the chat. Salute to the queen, man. You know what I mean? I'm like at a loss for words with something like this, yo. I did a lot of stuff in the streets, man. I never did nothing to no kids or nothing like that, though, man. That shit is a whole different level. I don't even know, how that stuff goes down. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's just different, bro. That's all the way different, man. That's different, man. Like, and in the streets, we always learn, the first things we learn is no women, no kids. That's the first thing. The worst guys that I seen promoted that. Yeah, I can't call it, man. You know what I mean? And to come back from that and be the way she, I'll be around her. We done went out together. She comes to my house on a regular, she can come here anytime. Oh, Walker's phone died. She got to tap back in. I'm gonna tell her to plug in and tap back in, so y'all can get some questions to her. Ask her some questions. You know what I'm saying? She ready to ask whatever. So put some questions in the chat so I can ask her some questions. Text Walker. Yeah, I'm telling her to plug in an adapter. Just hit the link. Okay, Moshe is back. Yeah, man, you got to help me with this one, man. This is like a heavy load right here. You heard?
Yo, man, your brother, man. I'm never at a loss of words, man. I'm sitting here just like, we're all dealing with different levels of trauma, different layers of trauma. I know I ain't, and I hear someone who is also dealing with some serious trauma. No matter how much she tries to, appear so this strong woman, we know that she's a strong woman. Yes, no doubt. But she's a human being who lost a child by that child's father
I
and
need
the
a minute,
man
bro.
in the manner in which it was done. I don't know if any of us could deal with that type of hardship. You know, first of all, man, you guys out there, man, please hit the subscribe button. Y'all tuned in to We Locked In. I'm your host, Moshe Canty. You guys got to forgive me. I was on the road driving home. I'm here now. You guys have heard the exclusive interview of Shawana Bowens as she has given you intricate details into her personal life. This is really the first feature of a sister that we've had up here. And it's appropriate that, we are diverse in our message and not single out the messaging that we want to deliver to the people solely on the men who sit up on these panels with us, because that would be doing the community as a whole a disservice, because we realize that our sisters, many of them have been victimized, mistreated, abused on so many different levels. So it's just something to take into consideration. So we can't silence them. They obviously have a voice. And their voice is powerful. Abuse in the community has been something that has been running amok for years. It's something that we overlook. It's something that it's something that has become an accepted norm. It's something that we shouldn't accept, but we know that it's something that exists. Hold on.
Okay, Walker's back.
Okay, I'm back. My bad. My phone died
Let's
on
go.
me. But
We ain't
basically, my defense mechanisms was for about 3 years, I worked with this lady, right? Every single time I came to her house, she basically was like my inspiration. Then I just took it from there and I just made a career out of it. Like literally. That's what was my coping mechanism, knowing that I really had the power to change people's lives, even if it was for a couple weeks or a couple months or a couple years. You know what I mean? That kind of helped me mellow out and have a soft spot, because I did not have one. I didn't. It was hard. It's still hard. And like one of the main reasons that I left Syracuse is because me knowing that, okay, now you free. You done did what? You had a 15 to life year sentence. You was home in 20 years. You know what I mean? That's what he did, 20 years. And to come face to face with somebody that you just, whew, you just got, let's just say you had it out for them. You know what I mean? In the worst way. And you literally being stalked all over again. Like, it was like, damn, you done went to jail. All these years done passed. You see me, I'm avoiding you, and you still coming towards me. If I would have had a firearm, I'd be in Bedford Hills right now. All because I got brought back to a place that I wasn't ready to be in. It'd have been one thing if you really want to be that person and give me my peace. You're not giving me my peace. You want to be involved with me. I don't want to be involved with a baby killer. That's the last thing I'm going to do to you, is love you. So it was like, okay, what am I going to do? I got people. I know goons. If I have to live with having somebody's son, somebody's this, somebody's that, took it away from me, then I ain't no better than this nigga.
Right.
Because that's my family got to get shook down every time they want to see me. Now my family got to live behind a wall. Now my family got to for something that I'm still not gonna have. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna leave here because if I don't leave this town, I'm gonna make the headlines. My family love me too much. I love me too much to let somebody take me to a place that I done grown from.
So Juan,
So I chose my peace.
I want to ask you because I know that particularly us in the Black community, we do a very good job of hiding the trauma that exists within us, right? You know, I know I can speak for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, on the outside, everything appears to be all fine and dandy, right? But the reality is that there are underlying issues that I'm dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been through a lot myself, but nothing on this level. But I wanted to ask you because I noticed that you mentioned something early on. Um, was this like you mentioned something about there being compounded trauma, and what I mean is that you were dealing with other trauma that existed within the Black community outside of, with all due respect, the trauma you experienced with the loss of your son. Was there any other types of trauma that you experienced just as a Black woman growing up as well that was
Yes.
significantly traumatic as well?
Yes. Well, I could say my first traumatic event that I could really remember was watching my mom, the person that, like, when I say my mom was the GOAT, she was the GOAT. Like, I got 7 siblings. I come from a big family. And my mother was the type that she held it down. You know what I mean? I could remember us being in kindergarten. We had fur coats. Fur coats. Nobody had fur coats for their school pictures and all of that. You come to the crib, we got velvet couches, and I mean, we had like one of the nicest houses on the block, if not the nicest house on the block. My mother was accustomed to the finer things. I can remember, I knew what Dom Perignon was since I was 8 years old.
Don P.
That's all my mother drunk. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the lifestyle that my mom lived as a woman. She tried to do everything correct. Every parent thinks they're doing everything correct. But as a woman, I learned from her all the things that was done wrong too, from being a parent myself. Like, I could remember my mom, her friends, everybody having card games. You know what I'm saying? They had manila envelopes, little small, like little manila envelopes, like the big shit where they put the mail in, but it was small ones. I could remember a long time ago when I was a kid, like opening up a bag, it's filled. We open it up, it's sweet. You know, I can remember my mom. We supposed to be sleep, we being nosy, or one of her friends coming in smoking a joint. Next thing you know, we in the house. Mom gone, she went out. We getting paper, rolling it up. You know what I'm saying? But as a kid then, I didn't think it was wrong. My mom did it. She was my biggest hero. My step pops, he did it. He was my biggest hero. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? The whole time that they was trying to give us this lifestyle, it was for them, but it was for us too. You know what I'm saying? It put you in that type of mentality that you can't get out. Like I said, we was some silver spoon kids. You know what I mean? Like, we had every Nintendo, we had Sega, We had Atari. We had Teddy Ruxpins and Alf toys. We had all of that. The latest kicks. We had all of that. My mom was young. She was beautiful. She was a booster. She was a CNA. She was a hustler. I'm talking about they know her name by name. Like, that set the stage for a lot of the females and how their lives kind of could go either way. Because me, I wanted the finer things because that's what I grew up accustomed to. Until I started noticing my mother was the type used to have wads of money. When I say wads, rubber bands, all of that. When she used to go out, she's switching up all her, Louis bags, Gucci bags. I'm talking about in the 80s. She had all of this. We go in her room. She won't give us no money. We on probation, punishment, right? We wait for her to leave the house to go to work or go boosting. We going in every purse, every empty purse that we see right there when you first. We ain't gonna go all the way in the closet. We just gonna go just enough to grab them four that's sitting there. I'm talking $80, $70. In the 80s, that's a lot of money. We take that money and buy every kid on the block ice cream. You hear me? She'd come home. She wasn't mad at us. She ain't cuss us out. She ain't tell us. She just said, don't you never take nothing from me. Just wait till I get home and you can get whatever you want. That type of lifestyle. So, getting a little older, and I started noticing she'd complain about something. My mom wasn't a complainer. Then I noticed some of the friends started changing. You know what I mean? The way they went out. Now you working at a bar too. So now you dressing differently. I ain't like that shit. But that was my mom. Next thing I know, her and my step pops, they not together no more. I love that man. He been there like my pops been there. Shit, at times more than my pops. You know what I mean? So it was things that I was learning in my childhood, going from that to your mother calling people a dope fiend. I don't know what a dope fiend is, all like that. Till I'll get into an argument. Oh, your mother thinks she all that. Yeah, that's why she's smoking crack rock too. You feel me? Not my mother. Next thing I know, the Jordans that, we ain't have to ask for nothing. We ain't even got to ask for them. We come downstairs and they down here. We go up in our room and they just there. Now, you got to wait. What? We were spoiled rotten. We went from living in a house on the hills to the fucking ghetto. Now we got to fend for ourselves because you barely home. You feel me? That shit was traumatizing. You know what I mean? You living on the blocks. I can name literally any big time drug dealer that lived on our block. I can name them all. My mom was very well connected. Very well connected. And I grew up watching these people. The more you watch, the more that lifestyle entices you. So that it's a trauma. A bad trauma. Now you gotta take care of your sisters and brothers. Your mom might be gone for 3-4 days. You gotta eat. Gotta go to school. My older sister said, fuck that. I'm tired of watching them. They bad as fuck. Mom can do it. She know what to do. Next thing you know, she the babysitter. But she pilling out to go with her friends. They going to the bars with fake IDs. I'm too young. I can't go nobody bar. I ain't even had no titties. Hello.
Crazy.
What you call mosquito bites? How am I being? That put me in charge. I gotta help everybody with their homework. I gotta make sure these clothes is washed for these kids for school. I gotta cook. I gotta clean. I gotta play the mommy role till she get back. Now you done caught a case out in Yonkers. We was in the crib by ourselves for 60 fucking days.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Crazy. But it's crazy because the pressures
trauma.
that be on us be so much, man. I apologize too for coming in late, man. I was running around just, take care of a lot of stuff. And I appreciate too you too, sis, for just coming out here and really expressing that, because we always see it from one particular angle. And for you to come up here and give your your perspective on what you do, like I commend you immensely for that.
Right.
I grew up with a bunch of women in my family, so I definitely understand. And a lot of them was on the grind, running around in the streets. My mother, my aunts, so I definitely understand. And I always had a soft spot. Oh,
that's a fact.
But yeah, that's when I started noticing my brother, like, man, mommy, how long she gonna be gone? So I'm like, listen, I don't know, but we cannot tell nobody. We ain't going to grandma's. We not doing none of that. We staying home. My brother like, well, how we gonna? I said, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I was the person telling everybody everything was gonna be all right. That's a lot when you're 9 years old. And people believed in you. So that's where my first trauma came from. My sister dipping in and out. Then we'll go grab one of my cousins that's like 17. You know what I'm saying? When we get tired of being near by ourselves for too long. This was 60 whole days. Till we finally said, fuck it, let's go just tell Uncle Russell. He ain't gonna say nothing. That's what I did. My uncle lived about 4 blocks down. Caught the bus down there, rode our bikes. Listen, Uncle Russell, this is the situation. We need you to come live with us till my mom get out. By that time, she only had 2 weeks left. And from here, it just turned into a thing. No matter what I did, I was the sister/mom. And then it just carried on. After that, my oldest sister, she moved out. Now, back in the 90s, the early 90s, you and your mom ain't get along. You think you grown than her, or whatever the case may be. But at that time, it was all about manipulation. My mom don't never be home. She wrote the note, signed my mom's name, and got emancipated at 14 years old. Had her own crib, was burning the block. Do you understand what I'm saying? 14. It's trauma. So I'm stuck. She at home. Now she got a baby. Now I'm stuck with her baby. It's a repeat cycle that just kept going. Finally, my mom addiction took over. It was like, we had to go live with grandma. It was to the point where we don't got to tell nobody. They all know what's going on. In and out of rehab, broken promises. You're going to stay clean. All of that. Like I said, trauma. Dealing with that, sisters and brothers. That was my outlet. Knowing that they ain't got nobody. And if we don't stick together, or if this person be too bad, or that person be too bad, they gonna separate us and put us in a foster home. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. It took what I knew best. Streets. I wasn't hot in the ass. I just liked being outside. Those friends that I had, the friends that was my mother friends, their daughters, we all started we started our own gang, man. By the time I was 11 years old, we had our own gang. Girls.
What was the name of y'all? What was the name of y'all gang?
KBO. Word. Easy.
Hold on, sis. Hold on. What was the name? What was the name of this gang?
KBO. You heard me?
I know. I heard KBO, but you keep going in and out. Say it again. KBO.
Knock it
What? Damn.
That's what it stands for. Knock it out.
Was y'all really knocking people out? Like people was getting knocked out, like for real? Or y'all was like really striving to knock?
Our neighborhood had the most families, like, okay, the most big families. We lived on West Corning Ave, south side of Syracuse, New York. The corner used to be the Givens block. It turned into the Boogie Down Bronx, the Boogie Down, which is Hines. Hines, he wrote a book. He doing a movie right now. He did like what 20-something years in the feds. Just came home about 2 years ago. It turned into his block. The Givens got wiped out by the feds. When they got wiped out by the feds, they moved in. And basically that's you had that right there. You go around the corner, you had Old Block, Old Strander, you had Newell, you had Lafayette, you had all of these, which ended up turning into the Brighton Brigade. All those people that I grew up with on that street, they don't watch me knock bitches out. All of them. From on the time when I was a little kid, I used to fight. What's up? I got brother. See, in our house, you couldn't fight the person smaller than you without getting jumped by the person that's right behind them or right above them, right? Now, if my oldest sister tried to fight me, automatically the whole house jump on her. And this is why she hated watching us. When I tried to fight my brother or my little sister, my big brother would fight me. And if I tried to fight my little sister, all three of them up under them used to jump me. So when it came to throwing them knuckles outside, I was ready, set, go. I didn't give a fuck. I was not scared of nobody because I was looked at as a protector. I learned that role a long time ago, so I didn't care. I remember I whooped this dude named Anthony ass, murdered him right after we played football in the field next to his house. He waited, took a couple of karate classes. Probably about a month later, nigga spanked me. He ain't even beat me up. He spanked me. He kicked me in the stomach, grabbed me by my hair, and tried to DDT me. Y'all know what the DDT is. Y'all know about Randy Savage.
Damn.
Well, swear to God, nigga kicked me in my stomach, did some old straight leg up in the air, kicked the out of my ass. I goes to bend over like, oh, this nigga grabbed me by my hair. After that, hi Shayna, hi Ronan. After that, it was right.
We be doing that type of shit on Ronan. Ronan be trying to do that shit on us to hear.
Get in there. My little brother was getting ready to come out. What happened? He ran in and grabbed my brother. Brother dusted him. Then got him on the ground and said, "Now tell my sister you sorry, motherfucker." Word. Cause like literally, it wasn't. I was their protector, and that's when it started. KBO. Then from there, I ended up in alternative school. That's where like it's called Beard, where you get kicked out of regular school. You done had too many referrals, too many suspensions, too many of formal and informal hearings. So they kick you out. But nobody in those schools, and this is what I don't like, nobody ever in their fucking life thought to ask one question: what's going on at home?
They don't give a fuck about us.
Not once. Mind you, straight A student, honor roll, all that. Now you get into fights all the time. I mean, I wasn't skipping school. I was just showing my ass.
I'm hearing a lot, man, from this story. First of all, man, y'all hearing an exclusive interview from my sister Wanda Bowens, man, straight out of the Q315 representing. She letting the story be told, man. I'm hearing a lot, man. I'm hearing a lot of some verbal abuse, physical abuse. I'm seeing a lot of emotional and psychological abuse. And
I'm
I
trying to
have to
tell
ask
you.
this. I have to ask this question. I mean, were you at any time of all of this abuse? Were you at any time a victim of sexual abuse in your life? Did that ever become a reality?
Came
Because
real
this is
close,
something that
came real close to it, and it was a family member too.
wow, wow,
Real close. And that's when I see my mom's strength. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I said I was raised by somebody who I just couldn't understand how they became weak. You know what I mean? To substances like the fire. I smoke now. I drink occasionally, but any I, that's the only thing I can do. I have to be in control. Anything that's gonna cost me my sanity, anything that's gonna cost me my car, my house, my anything that's gonna cost me to do it to where I can't live how I want to live is something that I would never do. Back in the 80s, it was a party drug. If you had a little money, that's what you did. My mom had a lot of money. Her kids were spoiled. She had everything she wanted. She didn't want for nothing. So it was like you live in this glorious, glamorous lifestyle and didn't know the effects that this was going to have on you until it was too late. Me, on the other hand, I would never sniff cocaine. I would never smoke no crack. I don't play around with all these different new kind of drugs. I leave that shit where it's at. Why do I need to trade one trauma for another? Because I feel like that's what I'll be doing at that point. I know what all that shit do to you. I don't want that. But at the same time, the story just kept going. You know what I'm saying? Those same friends, you know, it started getting a little shaky because you come into that age now where my mom, one thing about her is she always tried to speak as close to the truth as she could, even if during her addiction. So it was like she used to say stuff like, "Oh, they're a little too hot in the ass. I know this one. I know she fucking, cause I just seen her mother. She just had an abortion. She too young for that. Is you doing what they doing?" And I started noticing, well, my mother, she wouldn't never try to down nobody, but at the same time telling me, nah, you don't want to end up like them. They going down the wrong path. They this, they that. You know what I mean? But those was my friends. As time went on, now I'm out of alternative school. I'm in a new school. You know what I'm saying? I'm promising my mom, promising my grandmother, my mom clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do right, y'all. I'm gonna try my best. And that's where I met a lot of my friends to this day. We was in each other, like, I was in weddings and, the godmothers and this and that. And those people right there impacted my life. They still in my life. Like when I go to Syracuse, I see these people. When you know what I mean? Like they been my forever friends. I'm talking over 30 years friends. And it just got crazy from there because now I moved away from my other friends. I got a little more, I don't got as much freedom because my grandmother, she's in church. She's very well educated. You know what I mean? She was one of the first African American women to graduate from Syracuse University with a dual degree. So it was like she was one of the head people at Peace Incorporated. This was way back, started in the 80s, as long as I can remember. She was going to school. She was an LPN to be a social worker all at the same time. She did it. You know what I mean? Like she had one degree, she went back and got two at the age of 41. And she taught me a lot though. And one of the things she made sure she kept in my head is like your self-respect is everything, honey. That's everything. Like you keep your mind honest. Keep your private honest. That was how like I knew like I didn't want them to I disappointed them in some ways, but that was one way I was gonna make sure I wasn't gonna disappoint on that. Like,
So let me
I don't care about the boys.
let me ask you another question. So first of all, shout it out to your mother for her accomplishments academically. You know, I'm heavy on those academics, as we all are. Mikey B and KK, we push that agenda hard body. Oh, look at my wife. She said, "May Allah use you, Sif, to help others that may be struggling, pushing through or unaware of their trauma." Um, I wanted to ask you this, right? So you spoke about the experience, and I have to keep going back to this, man, with your son's father. Did this change your perspective on men? Did you have like this?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna
Most
say that.
definitely.
Like that's the first question, and the second one is like, how did that impact your relationship with men? Like, I mean, like, how did that? Was that a struggle in that regard? Like how did you deal with that?
Uh, it was a big struggle because I ain't care for niggas. I dog walk niggas. I use and abuse niggas. I know a nigga really like me, and I wanted my 5411s. Fuck what you talking about, nigga. Where's my mic? Where is get out my face, dog?
Oh, you wanted the
Got dog
5411s, size
like
7
all
in
that.
girls? That's what you said? Yo, hold on. You wanted the 5411 size 7 in girls? Like you wanted those? That's what you wanted?
Period.
Hold on. Period. So hold
I'm
on.
really on
So
like
did you want it because you felt like this was what you was entitled to, or was it psychologically connected to the fact that you felt a
it was
certain
a
way about
psychological
men?
it was a psychological connection because I was on some like I gave a person a chance to look how they did. I ain't never letting no nigga do me like that again. Like anybody that got a kind of close, I turned it into a money thing. You gonna pay me, nigga? You what? What? New J's coming out? Me and my girl talking like, yeah,
Look at
okay.
Marley.
And I had
Marley talking about
bet
5411s.
that.
Marley bought
Like
5411s for the whole hood. All the
that,
girls had
that
5411s because of Marley.
yeah, they started busting out with the Charles Barkleys. They started coming out with all the different flavors of Bo Jacksons. Man, I was on it. My foot game was strong. So it was like, then it was another thing, right? All my life, I always had long hair, right? So back in the days, all the girls, they needed money to get their hair done. You know what I'm saying? I used to always get the money to get my hair done, but I never got my hair done. You feel me? It used to be little things. But when I say I dog walk, that's my way of control. He think he gonna control me, but I'm gonna control them pockets.
You know, it's crazy. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
this is like,
it came to the point where like I didn't want to love. You understand what I'm saying? Like I hurt people really do hurt people. I did not want love. I want what I want, and if you don't get on the bus, then the bus is pulling off.
this is crazy how these different traumas affect us in so many ways. And I was just listening in. I was trying to catch as much as I can because I know I missed a lot. But when I heard Moshe mention just the thing of even when you were saying just about like the physical abuse, it like financial abuse that comes into play, verbal abuse, all these particular things come into play, but they leave a mark on us and they cause us to do certain things as we get older, right? And a lot of times we don't become aware of where these actions stem from. And I wanted to ask you, when did or if you did, because like you're speaking about it, but when did you actually become aware that these particular traumas were affecting your present day relationships and how you work, wherever, work, family, boom, those particular relationships?
Because my life started to feel stagnant. Like you know how you get. I feel like, dang, well, I don't feel no different than I felt when I was this age. I don't feel no different
Yeah,
because you're doing the same shit. I
yeah,
wasn't evolving. I wasn't leveling up. I didn't have nobody to really show me those things. Anybody that I knew, they was a criminal.
yeah,
And anybody who wasn't a criminal, they ain't have time because they was too busy with their work. How you gonna learn something? I was the kid who wanted to learn, but ain't had all the people to teach me. Like my step pops taught me how to mow a lawn, right? The basics. My brother, I used to rake leaves. I was the kid who wanted to know how to do stuff like that. But I didn't have nobody to teach me. And that was the same thing as I became older. And I've always been the person that was the go-to person. So I had a big ego. I ain't like asking people for help. I still don't like asking people for help. That's one thing that today that I'm still working on. I tell you no lie. I hate asking people to do things for me because I've always been, oh, I'm gonna figure it out. And sometimes that hinders me more than it helps me.
Yeah,
Because I
that's
don't
the
want to
same.
be let down. Like I can't let me down. You feel me? Like I
Yeah.
can't explain. Like that's how I feel. Like I
Nah,
can't
nah,
let me down.
I think that's the same. I think that's the same for a lot of us who grew up the way we have, where you become so strong and self-reliant because the people in our lives are not necessarily doing what they're supposed to be doing in a sense, and we put the shell of us and become super independent. And I guess until we start to learn, well, go to the two extremes. Either you be super independent, or you have those that become too dependent on other things and other people, right? Instead of learning how to actually work together, which is being interdependent, learning how to be independent and work with each other. I mean, this is something I had to learn myself because I was the same way. You know what I'm saying? I was the same way. Everything I didn't want to tell nobody what I was going through. I didn't want to share my problems. I did whatever. I got to get it on my own. But learning to give a little and let people in a little, but understanding with me was faith. Like I rely solely on the law. So if I get something from someone else, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. If I do need help, I'll ask. If I get it, all right, mashallah. If I don't, hey, it's still a blessing. I mean, at least I'm still here, still able to move forward. But that's continued work, and I'm glad you're actually aware of that because that's the first thing, being aware of like, all right, this is what I need to work on. Let me get to it. Let me get to it. Oh.
Well, I hear you, KK, and I'm listening, man. First of all, if y'all listening for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit that like button as well. Y'all tuned into an exclusive interview from our sister here, Milwana Bowens, who has given us a lot, man. We're talking about trauma in the Black community. I'm gonna keep it on the eye. I'm gonna do what KK just did, man. I think you're bringing a lot to the forefront. And I think like my biggest issue is that knowing that I'm dealing with a lot of trauma in my life, but not getting the help that I need to help address it. It comes at
And that's
this. It comes in the
for
ugly times, right? I could be seeming like I'm all right, everything is good, but it rears its ugly head. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this is explosive, this anger issue. Just it could be explosive. But it's coming from somewhere. It's not just existing in a vacuum. It's there. It's underlining. It hasn't been fully addressed. It's lying dormant. It's laying low key. And it's ready to pop its head out. You know what I'm saying, at any given time. And it's not addressed. And so I know, like personally, I need to really, really get a hold of that. And I'm sitting here listening to how the experiences of your past have shaped and molded the person that you are today. Even today, you still struggle with just interacting with others. That level of trust, you still are cynical about the men in your life. So how, all right, so if I'm a man, if a man wants to meet you, like how does he meet you? Like what is it? Like he just got to come with a box of 5411s and say, I'm all yours? Like what happens now? Like what's
oh no,
like,
but like nah, it took me but it
like
took
what
me a
happens?
while
Like what,
though.
you
That
know what
was
I'm
the
saying?
young mentality. That was the young one. You know what
Oh,
I'm
so
saying? But
now I got to come
it
with
took
what? I got to
me
come with what? I got to come with a house? Now I got to be what?
Balencis.
Some
You got to bring
land?
up
What?
the Balencis.
What you
nah,
want?
you know what?
500?
Chanel.
You want
It
500
took for
acres?
me
Here's
to
500 acres.
Chanel.
Here you go. Here go a whole town. I'm gonna buy you a whole town. So like, what happens now? Like, how does a man come to you? Like, what happens? Like, how does he prove his love? Like, he's not out to just use you and abuse you. What happens now? Like, you think I'm
now it's
saying?
all in getting to know people. Like now, my red flag intuition be on point, because I pay attention to the little details. Like, for instance, you conversating with somebody and you getting to know each other. That's the time to ask all the questions that you need to ask up front. Because if I ask you everything that I feel I need to know, I know by tomorrow when I get up out this car, this the last time you gonna see me. Or if it's worth giving up another 24 hours to see if, another day to see if it's worth it. Like, the way I was raised and the way that, I was raised, and then I brought myself the rest of the way up. I raised myself, but I knew enough to know that being a hoe ain't gonna get you nowhere. So that was never a route that I was willing to take. This generation is set up differently. Dudes that's my age, don't talk to me. I'm gonna say this again. Dudes my age, they don't talk to me. I've been told I look unapproachable. I got sex appeal. Okay, let me okay, like, I can't explain it, right? Okay, for instance, I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. Goes to a gathering, family gathering. Mikey, his people, has got a lot of people, I'm meeting for the first time, all of that.
One of my shows, beloved. You know I'll put the shows on.
Period. It was for SB Quan. So it's
One
a lot
SB
of people
Quan.
I don't know. But every time, let's just say this, I don't care where I go. Everywhere I go, when I enter a room, I can get people's attention without being flirtatious, without being, I don't know. I feel like I wear confidence well, and people peep that. That's all I can say. And I'm sexy.
Yeah, it's strength. It's strength, though. When you go through what
I
you go
done
through.
had a
Strength,
7-year-old
yeah.
boy.
People know when
his
strength
Power
first
step in the
shoe
room.
store
People
at
know when
Wegmans
power
2
step
weeks
in the
Yeah,
room.
ago.
people know that. That's a fact. People
Well,
know
I
that.
mean, I think I would also like to attribute that to. I mean, let's just keep it 100, man. We are a very beautiful people. I mean, let's just keep it 100, man. We have something about us, right? I mean, if you know that about yourself, that you're confident, that adds another layer to it, right? I just wanted to know, like, how does one deal with that, because that can be very intimidating. Not the sex appeal part, but the fact that you may appear
It
non-approachable.
is.
No, not that part.
I've
Just the
been
part
told
of
that.
not the part of you putting up that exterior because of what you've endured, what you went through, right? That can come out in very subtle ways to somebody who might really be paying attention,
Nah, it
and
was.
it could be potentially it could be
Yeah, like a
intimidating.
defense mechanism or a wall that a lot of
Yeah,
women.
yeah, that can be, and that could be as a result of the long-term effects of trauma. And
Yeah.
do you think that you do exhibit these type of things, long-term effects that might not necessarily be conscious at times? You think that could be a result of the things that you might have experienced?
Yes, because it's hard to make, like, you can't make nobody trust you. That's like, I could, like, literally, when I say my intuition be on point, it be on point. I could sit in a room and have a conversation for maybe 10 minutes with somebody and know right then and there if their energy was good or bad. And that right there keep me away from somebody. Like, I ain't gonna say a first impression is always everything, because sometimes some people be nervous. Sometimes it be factors in that, but at the same time, people that I grew up with, they older and they got they got their confidence up. So they like, man, I always wanted you, man. But you was just like, you was like the tomboy. You was like, you was like the you. I ain't start wearing like skirts and dressing up and shit like that. So I was like, not 20, 21. And then I still didn't like stuff like that. I'll be the one that got on some Sergio Valente, some skinny legs. You know what I'm saying? With a little crop top. And that's as far as it would go. I would choose that and throw that on with some shoes just because I hated dresses. But then when I did come out, niggas looking at me like, damn, girl. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't the one who liked that type of attention. I wanted a motherfucker to love me or like me for me, not because of what the assets is gonna look like and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not a superficial person. Like as a kid, I was superficial. It was like I wanted the latest this. I had to have it because that's what I was accustomed to. But growing up and getting past certain milestones, and when my mentality changed, I didn't care about that. I cared more about my stability, my foundation, and what I was gonna have in the future versus right now sitting here and going, oh, I'm about to get these new Balenciagas, and I wouldn't stop till I get them. You know what I mean? That's being materialistic to me because I'm pretty sure I could spend 1500 on something else that's gonna be legible versus none. And conversations like that you have with dudes, that's something that I talk about. Like, you know, what you do for a living. If you say you hustle, well, how long do you think that's gonna last? How many felonies do you have? You know, like I want to know, is this the end? Is this is there more to this? Or this is the cutoff. This is what you do. Like it's certain things. I'm not saying your lifestyle makes or break you, but in a way it do. Because if a person is providing for you and you know their situation, you know how they got the money, and then they get locked up, you was bearing the fruits of that labor, baby.
Yes.
You can't turn around and leave this man for dead now because he ain't here to bear them fruits of that labor he was putting out. When it was all good, you know, when he could buy you these red bottoms, now he can't afford these red bottoms. He's no good to you anymore. So I learned to be okay with somebody who got a higher mindset than that.
Yeah, that's quality.
Who know when to get out, who know the actions of the repercussions and everything that come with it. If that's not the type of lifestyle that I want, I'm not gonna go for that type of guy. That's the difference between me now and me then.
Did you ever
friends used to be the ones gassing me. Girl, he got that bag, girl. Talk to him. You know you ain't gonna talk to him anyway. Just take his number and make, girl, you better get your nails done. I don't even like the dude, but just because he like me and I know I'm gonna get what I want from him, I'll waste his time.
Did you ever have any more kids after the loss of Isaac Robinson Jr.?
No.
You never did?
Before I ever had kids, I always said, like, my mom got 8 kids. And I've thought this through. My mom sold drugs, was a booster, was getting child support, okay? Food stamps, Medicaid. She was a bartender. This lady had money. Any scam that was coming through, she was in on it. Right? So it leads me to believe, is that the type of life I want? Is I can't. It's certain things that I can't provide for a house full of kids without making sure that I can be home with them every single night. So I have already had it in my mind, like, I'm having 1 kid. I hope I have a boy, and that's that. My mom got 8 kids. My father has 11.
Sheesh.
I barely have enough time. Literally, I didn't want kids, and I still don't. Like, at this point in my life, if I had a kid, it would set me back financially. Like, if I found a good husband, a good provider, at my age, I really don't want kids. I'm at that age where I'm about to be 42 years old in 2 weeks. So that's the only thing I can't. I feel like I'm too old. And at the time,
Yeah, I'm about to say. Hold up.
Whoa,
Actually,
whoa,
look,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, let me push back there. Oh, wait, oh, oh,
We listen. We
oh.
the same age.
KK, you
I
want
ain't
you
trying
want
to
you
hear
want to get
that.
on you want to
Talk
get on
to
that
too
cake?
old. Huh?
Whoa. Hold
Too
on, I'm
old.
hearing. Hold on,
listen.
first.
Honestly, listen. Me versus 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I would have had the patience. I would have had the time. I don't got time. I
Hold on, sis.
don't. I feel like I don't.
Don't
You
say
saying
don't say that, because you've become a better individual, period, all around the board. So if you know that you
But
became a
I
better
can't. But
individual, that means you're more equipped now than you were then to even, I'm saying, to have children, if that blessing occurs. Because somebody had put in a quote, oh, they put be behind a wall. A lot of times when you put that wall up, it stops you from coming out. And it stops you from actually seeing your particular blessings.
KK, but that's
You're
not what she
blessed.
said. KK, that's not
Right?
what she said initially. Sis, first of all, sis came out, she was adamant. No, right? Then she was
Yeah.
like,
no, but it is
hold on,
true.
I got 90. She said,
My
then I got
first thing
94
was
brothers and sisters. It's 94 of us, right? Then she was like,
Yeah.
yo, then
because
she
it
said,
is. Nah, but that's my
then she
main.
said, hold on, if you're a good man and if you're a good husband, so hold on, sis, what is it? If you're a good man,
No. This is what I'm saying. Listen,
what's
this is
up?
my thing. At this age that I am, most people already have the kids that they're gonna have. I
Yeah.
already told myself as a child, like, if I would have found somebody who I felt was suitable to be there and be a good dad, maybe then. But at this point in my life, I can't do it. I don't want nobody else raising my child. I don't want the streets raising my child. You know how much kids cost? Like, to really provide for them and give them the life that they deserve to have? A house full of kids you can't.
I definitely understand. I definitely understand that, because I've been getting a lot of pressure since I've been home. Like my mother, my grandmother, like, yo, what's up? When you go? Well, we need a baby. What's up? We need
Yeah,
a
when
grandchild.
you
What's
gonna
up?
pop that bottle? When you gonna
Yeah,
pop
when
that
you
bottle,
go,
right?
but I'm along those same lines. I'm like, yeah, I want to be able to be in a position, to, I'm saying, to really be there for my child, because like I don't have no children. So even my wife, like, she wants, like, no, she wants a child, but she understands, even though she's good, but I want to be there because I'm in grind mode. I'm be gone all the time. You see, right there, I'm in the car, boom, all day running around. It's like, and I want to be in a position where things are stable, 30, where certain things are done, and I know my child is good. You know what I'm saying? If it happens
And
though,
see,
but
that's the main thing.
I'm
But
not closing the door though, because if it does happen, then I take it as a blessing from Allah. Like, you know what? This is a blessing, you know, and I'm gonna do what needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Hold
Because
on, you when
sometimes
you say
we
when
may
you
plan, but law is the best of
laws the best
planners.
of plan. So when you
Like,
say
God is the best of planners. So
when you
we
say
may think we got it all figured out,
when you
and
say
your God
this,
may pop up. Boop.
yes, I
Here
was
you
about to say
go.
when you say you're not closing you're not closing the door. Basically, what you basically saying is that because when I hear that, it sounds so, it has like this sexual undertone to it. What it means is that you just, because closing the door mean you ain't just gonna have no sex. So let's just throw that out the freaking window, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just, if it happens, it happens, is what you're saying.
But do take the precautions and necessary stuff.
All right.
Yes.
All right, I
But my
got you.
main thing is being able to, because I learned that, like, I don't want to be, I want a man that, look, this was my main reason for, like, even after, I'm like, everybody like, girl, you should have another baby for what? Like, I don't want to have a baby just to have one. Like,
Yeah.
if
No,
my
that's just
son was
smart though.
not a planned pregnancy, he wasn't planned. It happened. I was young then. I know how babies is made now. So my thing is until I'm ready. But when I was ready, I was attracted to the wrong type of niggas. I didn't want a baby father who was gonna be at fucking Auburn for the first 8 years of my son's life.
Yeah.
I liked thugs. I liked the niggas from the blocks. I liked drug dealers. I like people who commit crimes and make money, schemes, white collar crimes. That's and I felt like I know what it's like to be a product of my environment. It ain't happening to my kid. Not if I could help it. And if I know, how you gonna tell a child not to be like their biggest hero? I'm gonna say that again. How you gonna tell your child not to be like their biggest hero? If
Yeah.
you're their father, right? And you out in the streets, You doing this, you doing that. You got the money, you got the cars, you got the women, you got everything. Them kids is in them rooms listening to them arguments. They get older and start to see what's really up. I can't tell my child not to want to be like their father. So I got to learn to pick a better man, correct? A man that this child could look up to, not seeing that your lifestyle means that you're a bad parent, but you creating a product of your environment when you're not thinking about your actions and how they're going to affect your kids in the long run. And at that time, I was ripping and running the streets. I never wanted to be the person that's, no, daddy not around because he in the streets. Daddy not around because he in the streets. Daddy ain't around because he in the streets. He doing this. He got shot up because of this. He got this because of that. I think if I would have had somebody that was more mature and older, who been there, done that, and now they into being a man. They changed their life. They want the best things in life, but they want to go about them getting them the correct way. So can't nobody come take them or take what they done worked so hard for. So if I would have came across something like that, yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have had a baby. But I'm not bringing my child up for to be on the block with their pops. That's not happening.
Yo, this is a exclusive interview with the sister from out of Syracuse 315, Wanda Bowens. Listen, to all the young ladies out there, man, y'all need to really be tuning into this right here. This is you're not gonna get this, man. This is some serious stuff here. If you got aspirations to wanting to hang with the cats on the block, chasing after the dude who got the name and all that, sis here is giving up some real jewels, man. There's a course of trying to be with the boss, so to speak, right?
Correct.
I want to ask you another question, sis. I know we've been asking you questions after questions, so you got to forgive us. But what is it like today, like for you on any given day, like you waking up every day? What's that like for you? Because everybody has different experiences. I know for me, like I still jump out my sleep. Like I'm all over the place. My wife be like, crazy, right? She really be like, he crazy. So right, so I'm dealing with like my own little issues here, right? But I want to know, like, how are you coping with what you've endured? Like, what's your wake up like? What's your daily wake up like?
Honestly, I'm so grateful and so humble now. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, when I get up in the morning, I get back down, I put my head down, I kiss my hand. Thank you, God, I'm blessed. You know what I mean? Whatever this day got going on, I'm gonna make sure it's good. I sang on my way to work. Literally, I'll be in the car jamming all the way to work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have a job to go to. I'm grateful that I woke up and was being able to stand on 2 feet, brush my teeth, take a shower, get my clothes ready. I leave out that house on 100 every morning because I'm setting the tone for my day. I already done said while I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth. Yup, today gonna be a good ass day. You're beautiful. You're healthy. We about to make this money. This is what my day start like. You know what I mean?
That's like, right. Sound like my day. Of the time, you're beautiful. You're getting some money. Sound like my day.
Like pretty much. Like that's
word.
And I try not to let other people and their misery or their trauma get me down. When I leave my house knowing you don't know nobody's situation you about to come across. Yeah. Nobody. Not this bum on the corner who you think is a bum. Not these people crossing the crosswalk. Not none of them. You don't know what people's situations is and what they going through. So be humble. Be nice. Be polite. And be humble. When I walk up in my job, bitches can't stand me. Good morning. How you doing? Hey, good morning. They hate to see a happy soul. You hear me? If I was this little angry person that I was some years back, oh, they would have chewed that shit up and spit it out. Cause misery loves company. But when you coming in, you smelling good, you're looking good, all the people love you. Hey, how you doing, girl? I'm good. Just another day, another dollar. You know, go get my money, and I go home. When I get home, first thing I do, hot bath, relax. You know what I'm saying? After I smoke, I get up, cook me some dinner, might call up a couple friends or something, chat for a little while, watch me a little show or something, and I'm in the bed. That's my life. And I'm happy as fuck with it. Because can't nobody steal my joy. Do you understand that? When I say nobody, can't nobody steal my joy but me.
That's right.
I create my own happiness, and I know that.
That's right.
And that's the difference. Like, I came a long way. I used to think it takes people to make you happy. Don't nobody make you happy but you. I'm not a people pleaser. People running around trying to please me. Because I'm pleased with myself. I don't need another person to help me feel whole and complete or nothing. I've been humbled. Situations made me look at stuff. I can remember counting so much money, like literally, I'll keep losing count with a machine up in this bitch. Oh, what is this? Throwing money everywhere.
Hey, yo, you know it's crazy?
Okay?
I be saying sometimes people do need to be humble because we don't know what it takes actually for an individual to be humbled. Sometimes people do need to be humbled though.
Humble
No,
is
no,
just like
that's
this.
true.
Okay?
That's
True
true.
story, y'all.
You know, humility is key, man.
Humility is
You know,
key.
humility is key, man. Listen, we truly, Shayna put it up in the chat. She was like, "Yo, this thing need to be like a regular thing." You know, we truly value your wisdom, your experiences, and everything that you bring to the table, man. It's like you went through so much, but for you to be having this positive energy, not allowing, what you've endured in the past to kind of bring you down and bring down others. Because let's be real, man. You could easily not be like that. You could walk around, like you said, in misery, be negative, but you've chosen to carve out a different path for yourself. And it's obviously resonating with you. I mean, it exudes in who you are as a person. It's infectious. It's something that we obviously can feel. It's genuine. People in the chat are definitely in love with you. They love to have you here with us, right? You know what I'm saying? You tapping in. So, we truly appreciate your presence,
Next time we
man. And
got to get
again,
in here because, see, wait. All
he said,
y'all
what's this?
married. Mikey, you married, and you married. I done heard everybody. I done heard all y'all say y'all wives.
Yes.
We got to get one single man to join us other than y'all.
Okay.
Because y'all are married.
Okay.
Why? Because he go give opportunity to shoot a shot.
You want somebody to shoot a shot? What you trying to say? Because we know a lot of brothers. We get some single men up in the beat.
Listen.
You in the chat? What's good? She looking, yo. She checking.
We got a strong black sister, strong queen up in here. Y'all better be ready, man.
Y'all better go up in her DMs, beloved. She checking.
I'm trying to see, but like, why y'all be putting a ring on it? Like, it's a lot of things that men questions with relationship stuff that, like, it's like, I want to break the girl code a little bit for y'all next time I come out here. But y'all can't be like.
I mean, you gonna be a regular guest, man. You know you family. Yo, she was in the house. I was doing an episode one day. I said, you supposed to be in this over here with me. What's up?
Yeah.
Get over here. So she gonna pull up on a panel with us, She gonna start being a part of the regular panel. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we definitely value that sister's perspective because without it, I mean, we don't really have a show if we don't have a sister's perspective. I'm just keeping it honest. I don't care how many topics we talk about, what we talk about.
Because
listen, we missing out on a lot. Facts.
Nah, you part of the
and it's a big thing too with this the new generation females versus the new ones. Let's say the Aries and them. I thought I was a little cocky. I thought I was a little this and I was a little that. Money is the root of all evil. And I'm just gonna leave that there right there. Cause I see girls and dudes too. They'll sell their mama for $1. And then the relationships is not the same. That's the reason why y'all know what? Stick to what y'all got. Keep what y'all got. Because the dating pool is almost extinct. Either the person that you would have picked is already matched up with somebody, because the leftovers is no good. You gotta No, I'm just saying.
Leftovers is no good.
The leftovers ain't no good. You got too much. Like I done seen so many guys just messing with the he she's and the Trent. Well, no, let me not say that for the. I'm sorry, LBG community, but
as a disclaimer,
that's
please.
a whole nother topic. We need to get on that one day too. But
yes, we do. That definitely needs to be a discussion we need to have.
Honestly, a gay person, one of my best friends is gay. Been gay his whole life. And he's just a gay man. He's not, being around him won't make you feel uncomfortable. That's a gay man. He's sure about himself and all of that. But a transsexual is a mental defect. I'm gonna say it again. I know they're gonna hate me for this. I'm sorry, LBG community, but it is. Because I had a man tell me he always knew he felt like a woman. You do not have a cycle every 28 to 31 days. You don't have menstrual cramps, mood swings, postpartum depression. And as a man, you could never know what it is to feel like you're something that you have no. That's just like saying, oh, I'm human, but I feel like an alien. How the fuck do you know you never been an alien? Mental defect.
Yeah, we about to go to the whole nother realm. So let's just pull back.
Just saying, though. It's okay to be gay.
Do a show on that.
But
We're gonna
do pull back though right now.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a whole show on
that. I be saying that, sometimes, Mikey, sister and Kiki, sometimes be like, yo, man, my stomach hurt. I be telling this to my wife, yo, my stomach hurt, man. Yo, I feel like, man, I feel like I got like my period. She be like, how you know what a period feel like, right? Yo, she always be reckoning with that.
You don't. Man. It's like your body as a woman, your body go through so many changes right before. Like your nipples might be sore. All of a sudden you wake up, you go to put your bra on, your nipples sore, or no bull jump. Maybe 2 to 3 days before your period, all of a sudden you get bubble guts out of nowhere. Like it's things that women go through. Why would you want to go through that? Like I don't understand why you want to cut off your penis and pretend you're something that you're not. You can be gay with your penis. Most real gay people say it's part of the fun. So why are you trying to be a woman? You're not a woman.
Yeah, that's just say. I tell you that's something. I got to get back on this road, fellas. Sis, I had to get back on this road. It was a pleasure. I get up with y'all. We definitely got to do more of this.
It's definitely been a pleasure. I would love to chime in and chop it up with you guys again soon. We got to set something up, Mikey.
Yeah, you know that. You be in the building. You're gonna be here with me right here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, sis, man.
Yeah, we gotta make something happen. But you know, you gotta come down here though, Mikey.
I'm gonna pull up. We pulled up. You know we be pulling up. I pulled up on you already. Me and Shani, we pulled up. You know I'll be pulling up. Stop. Don't play.
I have to pull up again on the 29th. You heard?
Bro. Yeah.
The 29th is a big day.
Yo, listen, y'all locked in. Y'all locked in with us, man. Y'all locked in. I'm your host, Moshe Canty. I'm here with my co-host, Mikey B and KK, man. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the OG
Thanks
legend.
For having me, guys.
Juana Bowens from out of Syracuse 315. We gonna play with it. AKA Wonka. Thank you, sis, for coming, man. Thank you for showing
So let
us
know. Do some shout outs, Wonk. Give us your information.
Well, I just want to shout out my Facebook, Wonka Bay, my Instagram, Yupitzwonka315. My Snapchat is Yupitzwonka3. Y'all can see me on all platforms, you know what I mean? Just regular stuff, living a regular life, doing regular things, you know? But be looking out because, like I said, sooner than later, I'm trying to work on getting me a nonprofit organization set up for all types of victims. Because just like I said, you could be a victim of a crime and you could be the one who committed the crime, but people still be victims because you don't never know what led them up to that, you know? And I'm trying to get me some books, some series books going, you know, one probably through 10, and before the last 10, I'm trying to have a movie out. You know, I'm even thinking about hitting up Taj Mahal and hollering at him because I was supposed to do some work with him at some point in time too. So yeah, for the most part, be looking out for me. Y'all be seeing me around everywhere.
You definitely got to come back up here and chop it up in some of these topics.
Absolutely.
You up on some of these topics.
Yo, with that, y'all already know, man. We locked in. Find and feed me you, man. Y'all take care. Have a great night. Peace. Salaam alaikum, everybody. Good night, sis. Peace, my brother.